You know, it's funny. It's been a while since I've recorded a mirror conversation, but not as long as it appears. I recorded a couple, and for whatever reason, the universe has made it really challenging to upload them, and I tend not to fight against the universe, so they sit on my phone, and I decided to record another one. And today, I want to reflect with myself on honoring myself in areas where maybe I could start honoring myself while stopping the action of settling. Meaning, I have a pattern, and I've seen this in myself recently, where I am so kind to others and I offer so much love to others that, and I also see people with, where they are in this place of unconditional love and, really understanding that everyone's just doing their best. And so because of that, it makes it easy to be around me. It makes it, it's been described as effortless to spend time with me and even travel with me. And this sometimes is shocking to other people. And I think it's because I'm really accommodating. I don't have a lot of needs. I'm always just so excited to be in whatever situation I am in. And so I don't demand much, and that allows others who have needs to demand a lot. Goodness, I losing my voice there. What's going on? Throat chakra? But it does provide a space for others to demand a lot. And I'm pretty good about, spending time with people that, I spend time with all amazing human beings. I know that every human being is amazing, and I think it's awesome. I spend a lot of time with really cool people. And I also notice that sometimes I spend time with people who don't honor me so much as I honor them. And so one of the things that I've been reflecting on is really looking at who I spend my time with, the most of my time with. And this isn't to say in any way that there is anything wrong with someone else or, anything other than asking myself, when I spend time with this person, or when I do this thing, or when I put my energy out in this way, what is returned? Does it return even more abundance in terms of how I feel, or whatever is on the other side of it? Is it returning abundance, or is it depleting my energy source in some way? And some of the things that I've been doing, and some of the people I've been spending time with, I am finding that my energy has been a little depleted. And so in my upgraded effort of honoring myself, because this is something that, it changes over time. It's something you learn. You make a few changes, you see how it feels, you rest in, and you're like, oh, I see a way that it could be even better. And then you make some more changes, and then you're like, oh, I see how it could be even more better. And so you make some more changes. And so that's kind of where I'm at, is I've made a lot of changes. And as I just step into really honoring myself and saying, I feel amazing, and I want to keep feeling amazing. And the way that I will continue to feel amazing is by surrounding myself with experiences and opportunities and things and people that I feel amazing around, that are raising that vibration that I'm sitting in, and or at least maintaining it, But my wish is even more. I'm ready for even more, even higher vibrations. And I'm using the word vibration. I realize that it's a term that not everyone is familiar with, but I have been doing a lot more research into energy and energy work, as I personally have discovered some healing abilities. And so vibration is something that, we talk about a lot in the energy world, because it's essentially everything is energy. This is, being proven by quantum physics, and we're at this beautiful convergence where science and spirituality and the evolution are all kind of converging, and we're discovering new things and opening our mind to new things. And as we do, energy is one of those things where everything is energy. Even food, like if you look at food, food, the energy in food is measured by the number of calories in it. If you look up the measurement for a calorie, it is a measurement of energy. And our bodies also have energy too. And so if you know that everything is energy, then you start to notice things that, like what we call vibration. And a vibration is really simply just kind of like the frequency that you feel when you engage it. So vibration is a frequency, and you feel it. And some vibrations feel really like high, and that they feel light and easy and effortless. And other vibrations feel heavy and just heavy. Like it's a light and a heavy thing. Kyle Cease talks about this, move towards what feels light. And I just found that to be so true. The more that I move towards the things that feel light, the lighter I feel. And so I'm making some decisions about how I want to be spending time, and where I'll be spending that time, and what I'll be doing with that time. And I'm really honoring myself. Like I'm boldly honoring myself. And I mean boldly only in, I guess the best word would be unapologetically honoring myself. And ending some interactions that haven't been delivering. I don't know, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just, I feel there's room for expansion. And that when I look at kind of, if you were to 80-20, where you spend your time, who you spend your time with, and those things, that's kind of what I've been doing, is going through and 80-20 and saying, hey, where am I spending my time that is delivering the most expansion, the most amazing feelings, the most growth? And as I do that, that means some things are falling away. And I'm setting those boundaries really clearly, which is something that, I'll be honest, I normally kind of hem and haw around. I am so conscious of other people's feelings and not wanting to hurt anyone, that many times, if I'm completely honest, I really sacrifice myself for the sake of others' feelings. And, I have allowed people to lie to me and continue to trust them. I've allowed people to treat me poorly and then continue to just return love. Matt Kahn had this video. He talked about, he would show up and he was everyone's best friend the first time they met. And, he really experienced with his huge open heart, and he experienced people shutting down and not being ready for that. And that's kind of how I've felt. I'm so full of love and light, and I have such an overflowing cup that I just show up and I'm all love. And what that means is that, sometimes that's a really reflection for someone if they aren't in a position of loving themselves. There's this natural tendency that we assume that if someone is being nice to us, well, I'm not saying everyone assumes this. I've just noticed a pattern of people that assume that if someone is being nice to you, they must want something from you. There's got to be something in it for them. And that's just so not where I operate from. So that means that on the other side, there probably is something in it for them, and they're probably looking for that payout for themselves. And yeah, there's nothing, again, no judgment. I'm just saying, yeah, that's not exactly where I want to spend more time. So I'm really proud of myself because I'm communicating and not shutting down the communication, which is what I would typically do. I would just, disappear. And I've done this in a couple areas of my life. I've been looking at, everything from where I spend my time personally, where I spend my time working, and it all kind of converges, so all of it kind of plays in to each other. And I'm like expanding the things that I love and letting the other things just fall away, while communicating that I am no longer available for that. So it feels really amazing, I have to say. Really amazing. I'm really proud of myself, because sometimes, I would get wrapped up in these stories around, feeling responsible for how someone else received something that I either said or did. And it's not that I don't believe that we should look at that. However, because I think honoring other people is incredibly important, honestly. When you look at another and you look at how you're honoring them, many times it's a really brilliant reflection of also how you're honoring yourself. Because honoring yourself, in my experience, doesn't look like dishonoring other people in the process. Like, there's this energetic exchange that happens where if you're honoring yourself, and by honoring yourself it's harming another, that the trade-off for that actually is either going to be neutral or actually cause a dip in your own energy. And so, as I'm honoring myself and I'm communicating clearly, I'm doing it respectfully and with love and no judgment whatsoever. Simply stating what my boundaries are and what I want more of and what I want less of. And so, it feels really good. I'm really proud of myself. And tonight I'm actually headed to a sound healing event tonight with my good friend Jim at the Samara Healing Center, who is incredible. And I go to his meditation on Friday mornings at 9 a.m. And it's just so magnificent. And this is like an event with many artists. So I don't know what it's going to be. I'm very open-minded and excited. And I'm just like, this is all a part of honoring myself as well, is that I really am inspired to expand and to learn. And I just love learning. I realized that. My daughter said to me the other day, I really love learning. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love learning too. Like, it's so cool to go and like want to know the answer to something and find it. And whether that's only the answer for yourself or it is a bigger answer, it doesn't even matter. It's just the process of learning that is so fun. And so I've really opened myself to learning from the most incredible teachers that we have available on this planet. We have so many different areas. And the beautiful thing is that in the work that I've been doing with Mind Valley, I'm getting exposed to all of these like just incredible healers. I'm so impressed with what they have going on, and the amazing access that they provide to all of these healers and business leaders, and just such amazing knowledge in one place. So I'm really loving working with them, and it's just incredible. So like, that's an area where I'm like, oh, this is like, I'd love more of this. And I'd love more learning from this, this level of mentors and, people that are, I don't know what the word is, because it starts to become like some kind of hierarchy, and that's not it. It's simply, I really want to be around people who honor themselves. And what I notice about all of the instructors at Mind Valley is these are people who really honor themselves, like truly honor themselves. And that inspires me greatly to want to understand more about what they have learned in their journeys. And so So I'm doing that. I'm going to be actually taking the course that is called Conscious Engineering as well as Extraordinary by Design. And I'm going to take these and I'm going to do all of the stuff that goes with them. And then who knows, perhaps I'll provide feedback along the way. That might be fun. And simply feedback in terms of like what I'm learning and how it's integrating. I'm a pretty big believer in, you know, the whole point of hacking your human experience is to actually improve the human experience, to get it to the point of like the optimal state of the optimal human experience for me, for you, whatever that may be. It's likely very different for us. And, you know, part of that means that there's action. You know, it's not about watching these videos and not doing anything about it. Being like, oh, look, I'm not honoring myself. Let me continue not to honor myself, but know that I'm not honoring myself. Like, it's not very effective in my experience. I've done it many times, and sometimes it does. When you notice this stuff, sometimes you really do have to be ready to let go of it. And trying to let go of it before it's time, you know, just is incredibly painful. But everything has its expiration date. And so as you find the expiration dates, there's two things that happen. One, you let it go quickly, or two, you hold on to it and drag and kick and scream. Go through all kinds of things trying to resist and hold on to it, and then at the end you end up having to surrender it anyway. So I found that the most efficient path to experience is to actively surrender. And sometimes, you know, it takes a couple times of saying, I surrender this for like the mind to catch up. But most of the time when I surrender something, it just is surrendered. It's kind of beautiful. You practice it. It's like a muscle, surrender. Practicing the surrender muscle through honoring myself while honoring others. That sounds beautiful. I love it. More of that is a yes for sure. And I just noticed, so there's this funny thing that happens when women put on mascara, and if you're a man, you've probably never experienced this, so I'm going to let you in on a little secret. If you're a woman, you're going to laugh because you may or may not know that you do it. But when you put it on, like, watch your mouth, it starts making like these motions. Like, I don't know where this came from, that we like do these things with our mouth has to be in a certain shape in order to put on mascara. It's the funniest thing, but it's true for me, at least, because even if I try to not do it, it happens anyway. So that's kind of how it's a really good guide of, even when I try not to do something, I find myself doing it anyway. I know that that thing's probably really important for me. And in one way or another, whether it's showing me something that is ready to be surrendered, or it's showing me something that's ready for expansion. That's kind of the pattern that I'm noticing right now, is what shows up over and over and over again. And how am I honoring myself when it shows up? And how am I honoring others? And what am I going to do differently when I see the same thing showing up over and over again? There's a pattern that's there. And so the choice is to look for what the pattern is, or to ignore it. And I choose to look for what the pattern is, because even if it's something that I want to expand, I'd like to know how I got there. You know, if you're looking to expand something, maybe knowing a little bit about what you're trying to expand would help. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about this week, and I'm glad to be back in front of the mirror.